So, a few weeks ago, we talked about math grids, and we ended our math skills by playing Battleship. Do you guys remember that? Yeah, you played Battleship. I was gone that day, and you played Battleship because we had learned math grids in social studies, and then we also learned that we can use math grids in math too. So let's review it because it's been a long time, and then we have some new friends. Like Lily, you weren't here for math grids, were you? Were you here for math grids? I didn't think so. Lila, were you in the classroom for math grids? No. So there's a few friends that weren't here, and so they probably didn't get the lesson on it. So I just want to review it quickly, okay? So this is kind of fun. All right, so we've already done this page. What we're going to do is we're looking at Treasure Island here. And Treasure Island has a grid. So Lily and Lila, this is called a grid when we have lines going down and lines going horizontal. So vertical lines, horizontal lines. Now, each column has a letter. So we have A, B, C, D, E, and F. Each row has a number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we want to find something on a map or on a grid, we first have to go to the letter. So if we're looking for this jewel or this gem, I would go over here and I spy the gem there. So what would be the letter on this, Mason?
F4.
F?
F4.
4. Because Mason went over to F and then up to 4. So let's see if Mason's right. He's right. It is F4. So Lila, did you see how we did that? Okay. Lily, do you understand that? Okay. All right, so let's do this next one. Raise your hand if you can tell me the coordinates for this little, like, medallion or medal. Corla, what do you think?
5B.
Good. She said 5B. Now remember, we should try to say the letter first and then the number. So let's swap that and change that. What would you say, Corla?
B5.
B5. Let's see if she's right. She is right. Good job. All right. How about this cool gem? Lily, what do you think?
C3.
C3. Excellent job, and you are right. All right, how about this next one? It's a crown. Lila, what do you think?
E2.
Good job. You go over to E and up 2. You guys remember, I'm so proud of you. How about this next one? It is...
It died over there.
Oh yeah, it's a white diamond. I couldn't find it at first. It's kind of hiding.
I thought it was paper.
No. Libby, what do you think?
A4.
A4. Good job. Good job. All right. How about this message in a bottle? What do you think, Kinsley?
F1.
F1. It's right in the corner there. Good job.
Can we do IXL?
How about, not today, but another day we can. How about B? Oh, I could have said this one. What do you guys think that is?
B2.
B2. Good job. B2.
What is that?
It's like maybe like
Like a trophy.
a cup or a trophy. Sometimes they put like,
I've
I've seen
It's a cup.
I've seen it used like as a cup with a little top on it, but it could also definitely look like a trophy. Okay, the treasure box. What do you think, Tyson?
It's easy. D4.
D4. Excellent. Excellent. If you want to do those, this is super easy. All right. Now, I gotta think back. Did I already show you the coordinates video?
No.
Ooh.
Coordinates.
I haven't showed you this? Okay. So this is perfect. I believe we already did A1, but
We can check.
I think we did. If not, it's okay to do it again. I'm pretty sure we did it.
Amazon.com's complete digital
Is that
library
mine
of
for
videos is now available
I've never
ad-free
seen
and child-safe.
Okay. It's a number rock one. Give it a minute. thought we did, but maybe not.
It's a language arts.
No?
No. Let me tell you. It was social studies.
Okay.
No, we haven't done it. What one is it? Social studies. Miss Murphy, is it math?
To plot the ordered pair, 2, 1, go right, 2, jump up 1, and it's done. To plot the coordinates, 7, 10, go right, 7, up 10, mark it with your pen. On the x-axis, count to the right. On the y-axis, count from the ground.
It's A1. It's social studies. We haven't done it.
To plot the ordered pair, 3, 5, go right, 3, up 5, to where you arrive. To plot the coordinates, 10, 7, go right, 10, up 7, we did it again. On the x-axis, count to the right. On the y-axis, count from the ground. That's how a coordinates point is found. To plot the coordinates, 9, 4, up right, 9, up 4, now one more.
What do you notice about when they go across the bottom? What do you notice about the bottom that is different? What do you notice, Corla? There's numbers. So there's numbers going across instead of letters, and there's numbers going up. So in math, that's what will happen is you'll have two numbers. Instead of like a letter and a number, you're just gonna have two numbers, and you have to separate them by a comma. So that you know that it's not 94, it's go over 9 and up 4. So that is one difference in math, is that you're going to get two numbers instead of a letter and a number. Okay?
Actually would be 10.
With the ordered pair,
That's right, you're
0, 4, remain at the origin, drop 4 from the floor. On the x-axis, count to the right. On the y-axis, count from the ground. That's how a coordinates point is found. The coordinates are kinda like clues, telling you where to plot the x and y values. And when you see them on a questionnaire, they can be called coordinates or an ordered pair. We plot x first and y, that's the order. Always starting from the bottom left-hand corner. That's the place that we begin. At 0, 0, call the origin. On the x-axis, down to the right. On the y-axis, down from the ground. That's how a coordinates point is found.
Then how will they get food?
I wish they'd bring it
Okay.
back.
So, a little bit later, not now, but I'm pretty sure we've already done A1
Get out my Excel.
in social studies. I excel. So almost everybody should have done that because we did that like the day, this has been a long time ago because I was gone on a Friday and we did it on Thursday. And if you're in the classroom, I went around and made sure everybody did this one, but I don't know if Lila did, and Lily hasn't done it yet either. But later on, if there's time, you can go on to social studies and double check, okay? All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna practice this ordered pairs. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a walk in the city. Here is another map of Maple City. This map shows more of the city. The labels are smaller, which means that it may be harder to read. A grid would really help this map. Jamie and Jordan sold cookies for their scout troops. Now they have to deliver them. Can you help? Okay, so we have to map it. Now this is going to be the tricky part. So you're going to have to really listen. Okay? Make a grid on this map of Maple City. Use a ruler to help you do it. For this grid, put the numbers on the top or bottom, put the letters on one side. Okay? So listen here, this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna need two things without talking. You're gonna need to grab a ruler and a dark crayon like a black or a brown or something dark. So grab those two things.
I'm gonna look for my book.
You need to return it to me. Not a marker, a crayon piece. What?
Will this work?
Something dark. It'll still work.
I don't know why it did that. Yeah.
You can borrow this one.
Miss Murphy.
Justine is following directions. Black crayon or something dark, not a marker.
No, don't grab mine.
Just grab one. Is it dark? Then that will be the next step to me. Hey, anyone else need a ruler? Hey, you just need something dark because if you use your pencil when we make this grid, sometimes it's hard to see the lines. So what we're going to do is we are going to first make our vertical lines going up and down. Now, on a grid, they measure equal, so they're perfect. However, will ours be perfect? No, because it's hard to make these perfect unless we're measuring exactly, and you guys are quite ready for that. So what we're going to do is we are going to do our best to try to match Mrs. Murphy's up here, because if you match mine, yours will match everybody else's, and you'll be able to answer these questions correctly. Okay, so right now, with your ruler, now I can't really do this up here with mine, because if my ruler touches the Clever Touch, it will make a line. But I want you to lay your ruler, and I want you to draw a line. You want to lay it down this road right here, Church Street. And when you lay your ruler down, you're going to trace it all the way down. See how Mrs. Murphy did that? Are you doing it, Kristen? Just watch and listen. Down here. Ooh.
Oh, I forgot you need to use it.
Use your ruler and then trace it. Go over it with a crayon or something dark. Okay, now we're going to do our best to try to make them equal. Now, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to go on this side of Center Street. I'm going to go down. Hey, kids back there, you got about 10 seconds. Grab one and go. Grab one and go. You should already have crayons at your desk. All right, now guys, we're going to make another line going down. This time, it's going to be right on this end right here. Okay, then we're going to make one last line going about right down here. Now I know these are not perfect because I can tell this first square is a little smaller and this big square is a little bigger. Okay, on a math grid it would be perfect, but we're just second graders, so it's not perfect.
And it doesn't.
Okay, now it says we're going to label these, so we're going to go back to social studies and we're going to label these with letters. So you should always start on the far left with the letter A. can make it lowercase, but down at the bottom, write A. B is in the next section or column, then C, then D, then E. Okay, now we got our columns done and labeled. Now what do we have to make? The numbers. So what are the numbers, Hayden? What are they going to be on, columns or? Okay, you're close. Lily? Yeah. What are we going to make? Kinsley?
Like
So we got columns.
now, rows.
Rows. Good job. We're going to make the rows now. Okay, so now, instead of going vertical, our ruler's going to go horizontal so we can make our rows. So the first row, guys, watch this. You're going to make it go between the middle school, the grocery store, and right below the lake. So you guys see, it's going to go between the middle school, the grocery store, and then right at the bottom of the lake there. Yep. As fast as you can, okay?
Murphy, I did that a little bit different. I'm going on the streets on the white lines. I'm not like going.
Well, then yours isn't going to match mine, and that's going to be maybe a problem when it comes to answering it. Now, the next one, I'm going to go at the top of this Lake Street. And I'm going to take my ruler, lay it down, and just go on the top of Lake Street. And Lewis says fine, but when you answer your questions, yours might be different than
I
mine.
just always go way too low.
I'm going like
It
Mrs.
always
Murphy.
messes me up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mess up today. Yeah, I kind of already did.
Okay, now the next one I'm going to go is right below this main street, above that flag, above the city's hall, right here.
Right up, go.
Where is it?
Good, I thought I did that.
Okay, then Mrs. Murphy's going to make one last row, and this one is going to go right below the key and go across. Yes, Mike? I'm not going to put one there because I want them to be about the same size.
Whoa, that was huge.
So see how they're about the same size, Wyatt? About. They're not perfect, but they're about.
That's what I.
Okay, now if yours is a little different than mine, that's okay. But just make sure when you answer your questions that you're doing it correctly to your math. Now, mine is about the same. They're not perfectly, but they're about. Now, I've labeled, this is called my x-axis. In the video, they talked about the x-axis going across. That's our columns. Going up is our y, and that's going to be numbers. So what do you think we're going to start right down here with, Kaden? 1. The next one will be 2, 3, 4, and then the very top one for mine is 5.
Wait, what?
No, you can both do that.
I'm probably gonna have to watch my food because I haven't. Does it have to be 5?
Mine's 5. Now I don't. If you did yours just like mine, you should get 5. But if yours is different, you might not get 5.
I did it in the wrong place.
Okay.
I have 7.
All right.
I must have messed
That's
up
fine.
at some point in it.
Just make sure when we answer these questions, you go correctly on your grade. Now I know, guys, your ruler is going to be full of like crayon or colored pencil. In the morning, when you get a wet wipe for your desk, you can just wipe it off, but not right now. It'll be fine till then. Okay? All right, now, we made our math grid, and we've labeled our X and Y axis. Now, we need to use our grid to find the location of these places. Okay, so watch what Mrs. Murphy's gonna do. The first thing I'm gonna look for I don't know what that is, I look at my map sheet. And I look up here and I see it's like that brown image. With, it looks kind of like there's some fences in the middle. This is City Hall, so I'm going to put my finger on it. Now, looking at Mrs. Murphy's grid, how would I get to that if I had to use my map? Wyatt, what do you think?
C3.
Good, C3. Did everybody see what Wyatt did? He went over to C and up to 3.
And the city hall looks like Abraham Lincoln's room.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
That's what I was thinking too.
I was thinking that.
Yeah. Okay, so over here, I'm going to write C3 because that's where mine is located. Now you look at your map grid and you take your letter first, go across, and then go up and see where is your coordinates. And then write it on number 1. And yours can be different than Mrs. Murphy's. It might not match perfectly. Hey, now when you write it, can you guys over here, maybe want to write with a pencil? Okay, you can put your crayon or colored pencil away. We don't need it. Yes, Charlotte. Okay. Can I do a timeout for a second?
Yes.
Because I noticed on 2 people, their numbers look like this. Can I show you?
Yes.
They went like this.
That's on mine too.
Timeout. Maybe I didn't explain this good enough. Your numbers need to be, each one gets a row. And so some of you are squishing numbers like 2 in a row. And we can't do that. So if you can nicely, the thing you wrote with a crayon or colored pencil, you should be able to try to erase it.
Yeah, it's easy to try.
Yeah. Your best, do your best. And I see little, can you just move that up and put it in the middle? And guys, can you put your numbers in the middle of it? Because that way you know that this is row 1. This is row 2. This is row 3. This is row 4. And my top one is row 5. So make sure you put it in the middle so you know that this is the row. So it's okay if you guys did it. That's how we learn.
Wait, Miss Murphy. If the next one's hospital, I have a line right through the hospital.
Okay, so then you need to pick. Yes, Kaden.
I couldn't do it.
That's fine. That'll work.
That's
okay.
That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, you're taking my trick. I showed you.
Okay. All right. Thank you for those of you that fixed those, and that was maybe my fault of explaining that too. All right. Now, number 2 is the hospital. Now, if you look at Mrs. Murphy's, the hospital is the square with the red cross. And if you look at mine, who can find what my coordinates are? Tyson, what do you think?
D4.
D4. Now, Raylan,
I have a line right
Raylan says, Mrs. Murphy, the line goes right through it. And that happens sometimes on a map. So you could put, like Mason put D4 or D5. Or you could just put one or the other. But the best one would be to put both of them because it's kind of going into both of the grids.
Yeah, like which one do
Yeah.
you know? Like,
So, Raylan, you might want to put both of them. And you can put the word or, you can put a comma.
or you could put a plus. That's actually funny. Minus.
Okay, mine is not, though. Mine is perfect. Okay, the next one. Did everybody find theirs for the hospital?
Yeah.
Okay, the next write and figure out what yours is.
Mine's B4. Okay, mine's very messed up.
Isn't there
Riverside Park. Mine's A5. Mine's very messed
Okay, Lila had a really good question. She goes, this is tricky, there's two schools. But this one up here is the elementary, so don't get tricked.
There's actually 3 schools.
Actually 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the elementary, so do this one first. Nothing here, Addie. Okay, now, the elementary one is number 3. Number 4 is the middle school, and that one is down here. So my middle school is D2. Yours might be the same, it might be different.
I got tricked. I thought the middle school was the high school.
Okay,
And I looked over and I said, there's no middle.
so elementary, middle school, the high school is way over here, off to the far right, to the east.
So it's E.
Mine is E3. Awesome. Hey, number 6 is the big city mall, and that is above the high school. Mine is E4.
That'll be 5. Big city. Mrs. Look down behind. How's that to her? Where are we going?
Okay, we just had the mall done. This is the mall. Okay. So did you get the mall? So the big city mall is right up here. So yours would be E5. Yeah, that is mine. No, mine's E4. Yours E4. Okay, now, if you got the mall done, you're on to Allie's Shoe Store. And Allie's Shoe Store is kind of right here in the middle. Mine is C3. Some of you I hear C3 too. Okay, that's fine. You're close.
Mine's a C5. Come on, I don't see 4.
Okay, after the shoe store is the best groceries. The best groceries should be at the bottom. It should probably be on a 1 for sure. Mine's D1.
Why is mine C4 also?
Woo!
The best
Yours is just
the best grocery store, right? Or is the best
okay, Charlotte. Okay.
Oh, it's okay. Oh, you use the best grocery. I was correcting.
Okay, number 9 is Burger Bun. Must be a burger restaurant. It should be kind of in the middle. Mine is C4.
There's so many C4s.
I would say is F.
What time are they set?
F4.
3 o'clock.
1 minute, 25 seconds.
No, Wyatt, at 3 o'clock.
2:35.
So we get it back.
At 3 o'clock.
Yeah, mine's a little different than yours.
So we have
You're not
C4.
different. The best groceries. So that'd be yeah.
It's a
C6.
no one's being talked about. Stick it to like a building.
Okay, second one is we're on the zoo.
Yeah, you're in
So the zoo is right below the compass. Mine is C4 for the zoo. My Burger Bun and zoo is in the same square.
That's in 3.
Good job. Then after the zoo is this very long lake over here. Long lake. Mine is an E2.
Where the heck's Long Lake? Oh no, Long Lake is split into 3 halves.
Uh-oh.
What did you say?
Okay, now
Long Lake
that's
is barely sticking out right here. There's 1 half, and then the other half is by the middle.
My high school is on
okay, Burger Fun
E4.
would be D6.
Mine's cut off.
Right here, right here. Okay. That's good. Yep, D6.
Long Lake, I'm just gonna say is
Zoo is correct.
E3.
D6.
Wait, no.
And then we can do D7 Long Lake. This one's really easy to have. Okay, the last one. You should have is Maple Park, and that's right next to the elementary school. And mine is in the same square as the elementary school. Mine's in D3. But please put what yours is in. D3.